Hello, I'm Karen Elgersma, hanging out with the Victoria Children's Choir, and you're watching Go Island on ShawTV. On today's show, how to grow food in small spaces, and we celebrate a man who just achieved one of martial arts' greatest honors. All that and much more on Go Island. Thank you so much for joining us on Go Island. We are surrounded by beautiful voices at St. Aidan's Church today. Why? Because they're rehearsing for some very big events that are coming up that you're going to want to hear all about. Let's begin, Brian, with talking about the festival that's just around the corner.
Well, Karen, actually this is a big Handel week coming up for Victoria from February 15th to the 22nd. It starts off on Sunday, February the 15th in the afternoon with a major production of Handel's Theodora, his favorite oratorio, which is presented by the Early Music Society of the Islands, and will bring in the Pacific Baroque Orchestra and the Vancouver Cantata Singers. So this is a major event, and when that was scheduled, the Pacific Baroque Festival said, well, why don't we make a bigger experience, Handel experience for Victoria? Let's put on a Baroque festival that features the music of Handel. Thursday through to the Sunday, there are 5 events which have a whole range of music about Handel, including on the Saturday night, the performance of the Victoria Children's Choir, who will be singing Zadok the Priest, the famous coronation anthem of Handel's.
We're going to tell you more about this festival, and we're also going to let you lean in and listen to these beautiful, magical voices in just a minute. But first, we keep talking about growing our own food, but what if you live in a very small space? Well, Meg Cuthberg met a man who has a very creative solution on growing your own food in small spaces. Growing music here, beautiful voices. It's Victoria Children's Choir rehearsing for the big Baroque Festival that's coming up, which is going to be extraordinary. But they're also preparing for a European tour to the Netherlands.
There is a celebration in the Netherlands in May that is extraordinary. This year is the 70th anniversary of the Canadian liberation of the Netherlands. It was incredible at the end of World War II. It was Canadian forces that came in, they built the bridges, and they liberated the people. And they have been embracing Canadians ever since. It's quite remarkable, and our choir has been invited to go to the Netherlands to participate in this incredible celebration. These kids have been fundraising like crazy to get there. It's a huge trip. They're going for 2 weeks. It will culminate on May 5th with an amazing performance, and they will be singing for the Dutch royal family, the Canadian Governor General, and they are so proud to be ambassadors of this country and this city, and it's a remarkable story.
Continue to hang out with the Children's Choir, but we're going to meet a man who's an artist himself. Kevin Chirac sat down to meet a guy who just got one of the highest honors in martial arts. From martial arts to the performing arts, oh yeah, Go Island has stories that cover everything here that's hyper-local and fun, including the Baroque Festival, which is coming up. Now, Esther Ruth, you are a living witness of why everybody on Vancouver Island has to come to this festival. But let's begin with, how did the Baroque Festival affect you when you were part of it for the very first time?
I was part of the very first Baroque Festival when I was probably around 13 or 14, so very impressionable age. We sang Vivaldi's Gloria, and we learned the music, studied for months. It was very intense. We knew it was a big deal. And then I remember the first time we sang with the instruments, and their actual period instruments. I thought I could fly. I was blown off my feet. I've never been so elated in my life.
Oh, and she's 20 years old today, studying at the Victoria Conservatory of Music, and a full circle moment because you're also a mentor here with the Victoria Children's Choir.
Yeah, I'm learning to conduct.
Unbelievable. And much of this passion was born because of the festival. Who should come to the Baroque Festival this year?
Everyone. It's so inspiring, and to see the kids just radiating the joy of music out to the audience.
Amen, amen, alleluia, alleluia, amen. May the King live forever, 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 amen, amen.
We have to take a very quick break, but when we come back, we're going to introduce you to a new alley. Have you ever heard of it? Theater Alley? Victoria Children's Choir rehearsing in the background. We're with one of the Victoria Children's Choir participants here, Zoe. Zoe, tell me, what does it mean to you to prepare for the big Baroque Festival?
Well, it's one of my favorite concerts of the season.
What makes this one kind of fun to be in?
Well, we're working with a lot of other musicians who are very talented. And
when you hear the Victoria Children's Choir live, you will not believe the power of these voices. It is unbelievable. Now, speaking of voices, did you know that there is a Beatles cover band on Vancouver Island? Oh yeah, there is. And unlike most of us that live our life on social media, they don't even need social media because they are booked solid by what? Good old-fashioned word of mouth. There's nothing better than gathering around the piano and singing a few songs. Oh, actually, I can think of one thing that's better. Watching the Victoria Children's Choir gather around the piano and sing a few songs. The voices, the richness, the depth. Every time I hear the Victoria Children's Choir, I'm always blown away. I don't know why. You'd think I'd get used to it after all these years. But what makes this choir so rich and so good and so worth coming to see perform?
Well, they're just awesome musicians, really.
Yeah.
You have a level of musicianship here that has been developed in these talented people over a few years, and they're just, what can I say, they're great musicians.
What does it mean to you as part of the Victoria Children's Choir to be part of the Baroque Festival this year?
It's really interesting for me because you get to see all the musicians who have worked their whole lives for to be part of the orchestra and to
it is,
and it's, and just how well practiced they are. It's really something that you can just look up to and kind of be like, yes, I want to I hope to be as good as them one day. Absolutely,
they're great role models, and they're also, it's just to be hanging out in the same room with people with that many years of experience behind them. It's infectious. What do you love the most about being part of the Victoria Children's Choir?
I believe it's really cool because we have so many friends. We build our relationships, and we're all so close now.
We have to take a very short break, but please stay with us. When we come back, we're going to take you on an island adventure in a magical beach that you probably have never been to. To hear these beautiful voices live, then make sure you check out this year's Baroque Festival. So much going on, and don't forget, these young people are going to fly to the Netherlands to represent our country. Find out how you can support them. I will see you next time.
Women's clothing provided by Tulip Noir. Casual designer fashions. Men's wardrobe by DG Bremner & Co. Menswear and accessories. Hair services provided by Salon J.